morning and welcome back to WKNI TV 25. We have a wonderful gentleman here. Certainly surprised about all the information we're getting about Rose Hill War Zone, located on Rose Hill Road. And Mr. Holt here has been telling us about what it takes to get out there and play paintball and enjoy yourself and have fun. It's a family affair. You can get out there. They've got birthday events. They've got team events where you get out there and do certain things or capture the flag, Secret Service, a number of different games that you can play out there. 5 separate fields to where they can entertain a large number of people coming out. So right now I'm sure there's no waiting for a field out there if you come out with a team and want to shoot and have some fun.
Yeah, we get a group of up to 30 processed, safety vouchered, checked in, and out on the field in less than 20 minutes.
Wow. So time is of the essence and fun is of need and expense is concern. This is a thing that I would enjoy doing, on the weekend.
Well, another thing that we looked at is $40 is pretty cheap for a day's entertainment. At gas prices and the economy the way it is, you can't go to the beach for $40.
You can't get across the state line with 40 bucks.
So that was the whole thing is to help give young people something to do, get them out of the house, give them some safe, wholesome, fun activities.
One of the things that folks, I'll tell you, we're going to get into another subject here in a second, but every time I talk to this guy off camera, I find out there's something else that they're doing for people, okay? When we went to break this last time, he said, let's not forget to talk about the scholarship.
There is a national paintball scholarship, $2,500. I think there's actual 5, $2,500, and then they go down smaller. The big thing with this is it has to be in by the end of the month. The packet does. There's an essay to be written. There's SAT scores. There's several things that most of the young people that are going to college right out of high school should already have the majority of it done. But they're supposed to be paintball players.
Right.
And we're hoping that we've got 1 or 2 that have shown some interest. We want to do this in our area. And the people that administrate this on a national level, we talked with them at the expo, and we're hoping that we can put together one for our field alone, just strictly for our players instead of having it on a national level.
Well, that's awesome, and gives a young person an opportunity that has this sport in their blood, to begin with, an opportunity to get that little extra to go to school.
Yeah. The attorney that administers the scholarship, I met with him at the expo. And he said he was the little nerdy geek that didn't play football, that didn't play baseball, but he found himself on the paintball field and loving every minute of it. And that's sort of the reason he puts it together and administrates it.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll have to get a jacuzzi before I come out there and play for real, because I used to come home and jump in the jacuzzi after a good paintball game.
That's not bad. The problem is when you get to be our age, it's not the paintballs you have to worry about. It's the spare tire that we're both toting around with us. Time we run with it for 4 or 5 hours.
What are you talking about?
That's what really gets us is the exercise that we don't get. No, I call us.
It's okay. It's a good thing. I always talk about my, you called it spare tire. That was nice. I call it my food connoisseur container. Mm-hmm. But yeah, again, here's a positive out of this. I don't recommend that you jump out there if you're our age without going to the doctor and getting a physical and getting checked out. But if you need a cardiovascular exercise, this certainly will do it.
This will do it.
This will do it because like me, I remember I was not a good shot. I used to run a lot.
We had last year, end of school, had a young man's birthday party, and Dad brought him out. Dad was in his early 30s. Dad didn't want to play with him, but he didn't have an even number, so he played. And I think Dad had more fun than all the boys had. But it was a spend the night party, and Dad was sort of glad when it was over. because he knew he didn't have to rock any of them to sleep. They were all tired and give out, and they were all ready to get something to eat and go to bed.
Do you have camping facilities there?
We do have camping facilities adjacent to it. We're pretty strict on our camping. We have church groups that camp there. We have other youth organizations that camp there. We don't allow a bunch of kids to come out and camp. They have to have adult chaperone supervision. We even actually have a 20 by 30 Air Force tent that has a floor in it and has central heat in it.
Whoa, there you go.
So we have showers, actual flush toilets.
Doggone.
We've gone from this last summer. We started out with portalets, and now we're actually up to flush plumbing. So we're constantly growing and seeing what our customers want to make it a better place.
And once again, this is at Rose Hill War Zone. It's the paintball fun place here in the community. You can call them at 465-4733 or visit them on their website at rosehillwarzone.com. That's www.rosehillwarzone.com. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm having to step back. All right, what we have now that I want to talk about is something near and dear to my heart that you told me at the beginning of the show, that your profits aren't going into your pocket.
No, I actually earn a living working on helicopters. We own a helicopter overhaul repair place up at Brantley, and that's what I do for a living. 100% of the proceeds from the paintball field either go back into the field to grow the field, or we have 2 young men that I personally have taken into my home that they are basically homeless young men. And everybody thinks homeless. When I first started thinking homeless young men, I think about the 70-year-old wino standing on the side of the road.
Right.
There is a huge number of young men that went in the military straight out of high school. Some of them went in against mom and dad's wishes, that have come back from Afghanistan or wherever with injuries that put them where they can't maintain in the military. And there's not, in my opinion, as a vet, a good transition system for them. The VA does what it can do, but they're strapped by federal regulations and requirements and time restraints. So we're actually putting all the proceeds 100% into homeless veterans. There are requirements to get in our program. They have to be young. They have to be at a point where they want to make a change in their life, where they want to do better, and they have to be capable of doing better. There are people out there, it's sad to say, and being a small program and only doing what we can do, we can't take all of them in. But we took a young man in 6 weeks ago, Thursday, from Fort Campbell. Ended up homeless for 7 months. He couch surfed. He had a choice. He could have went to a VA facility. He could have went to a hospital. He didn't want to get into that because a lot of times when they get into that, they don't ever get out of it. He ended up bumming with all of his friends for those 7 months. He wasn't physically on the street. We took him in. He's now doing a lot better. He's off of all of his medications. He works at the field. They build the field. They're actually building course number 6. That when we finish it, it'll actually be 4 courses in one. It'll be the largest paintball course in the Southeast. It'll be over 8 acres in itself. It's Baghdad. And he goes out there and builds it with what we can use to replicate what he has been through. And it's a big therapeutic thing for him. This young man came to us. He's from up north originally. 4 weeks ago, he had never had a set of post hole diggers in his hand. He had never dug a post hole.
Wow.
You know, he didn't grow up in the environment we live down here. But he's now out there. They're learning how to build. And it's a paintball field. As long as it's built sturdy and safe, it don't have to be square. It don't have to be perfect. So they're learning. We critique everything that's done, where they learn to do it a better way. We learn to do it my way,
right,
more than anything, the way that my dad taught me. And it's a real help for him. We have average of 1 to 2 a month apply for the position, and we're trying to improve the program. I've been and talked to the VA about it. The VA is real excited about somebody willing to do something, but we're trying to come up with the funds, the where to actually put in a building with 4 efficiency bedroom type apartment in it, where we can take in these young men, keep them for a period of time until they can transition into that, until they can get themselves on the ground and go out and find themselves a job. One of the young men that I've got is going over to Ozark to the aviation school. He went out to the airport and took all of the schooling he could take here. He's going over there. He's on the dean's list.
Wow.
These young men want to do better. They know that they've got to catch up with their counterparts that went into college straight out of the military. That's part of our program, is they have to go to school for something. Right. They can go to a trade school, they can go to over to OP, they can go to Andalusia, they can go wherever, but they've got to continue their education. And there's money out there to pay for their education. It's not the education that's a problem. Right. It's the housing.
Well, you got the 96 apartments coming up here at LBW. I don't know if you've heard about that, but they're going to be housing students there. But I think that'll probably, were you waving at me? Oh, okay. Saw it through the side of my eye. But that's probably going to be for the sports kind of guys.
Well, these guys need a little more than just an apartment.
I got you.
They need a little bit of support. There's a support group that meets in town once a week that I'm aware of, but they need that little bit of extra. The same young man I was talking about didn't know how to dig a post hole. He didn't know how to peel a potato either.
Wow.
Okay. He just didn't grow up learning those kind of things, so he's got to do some transition. He's got to learn some of the what I call the life skills. And
these are former military people.
They're former military people,
and they've kind of fell through the cracks of the VA and other facilities or other organizations out there and they're homeless. They have no place to hang their hat or take care of themselves, and you're offering that right now on a limited level at Rose Hill.
Correct.
With your facility.
The young man that contacted us this week is in Columbus, Georgia. I call him homeless. He has a roof over his head. He's paying $200 a week for a hotel room.
Wow.
Okay? But a hotel room is not a home.
Right.
A hotel room is somewhere to sleep. A VA facility is somewhere to sleep. It's not a home. It's not getting yourself back on the ground.
Right.
It's not learning those skills. And the young man that is in Columbus that contacted me, he admitted when he got out, he had PTSD, he had all these problems, he turned to alcohol. Okay? The VAs and most treatment agencies' plan of treatment is usually medication.
Yep.
If you have a problem, there's a pill for it these days.
There's a crutch to another crutch.
And what our program is trying to get them off of their medication with working with their doctors. The young man that's been with us now for his 6 weeks, he's off all of his medications. He feels better. He sleeps better. He doesn't have any problems because he feels that he has a functioning role in life now. And that's what we're trying to do with what comes off of the field. And these guys are the referees. If you come out to the field, you'll see them. And they're just straight up normal young men. There's nothing the matter with these guys. They have a physical impairment. You'll see scars on elbows in different places where they're not capable of being 100%, but they're 99.9%,
right.
And they're fully capable of being a functional young man in town. I was in a place here this week, saw a person in his early 30s, and he was in a retail environment, and I heard him walking, and I knew he had a prosthetic leg. And I wanted to ask him if he was a vet,
right.
But I didn't want to embarrass him,
right?
Because he's out learning and earning his keep,
right?
And most of them are. If they have family support, they have somebody to go back to, they can become. But I can't imagine a parent telling their son they can't come home.
I can't either. We've got our boy over in Afghanistan right now, and it's a day by day, minute by minute. Just unbelievable. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I do have PSTD or PTSD. I'm sorry, and I've been treated over the years with it. And I'm not on medications. I just deal with it, and my family's been aware of that. And one of the things when my son comes home that we've all agreed on, the family, is that he is going to have all the support. And when he gets here, he's going to have the family support. He talks to us every day almost on Skype. Thank goodness for Skype. When he comes home, whatever he wants to do, we're going to support him 100%. And I know I can talk to him, and I've been on that level, of a situation. And I've had conversations with him since he's been over there about some of the not so nice things that war brings out. And we're just, not all the service people coming back from over there have that support group coming home to.
In my opinion, as a vet, that's the biggest thing these young people need, is they just need support. They just need to know that somebody's out there that cares.
Well, with that all being said, we're getting toward the top of the hour, Mr. Holt. I appreciate you coming on WKNI TV 25. I appreciate what you're doing out there for families and the community. You're what I call a man that has stepped up to the plate. And I mean that with my heart. It's not about you. It's not about, anything but trying to help somebody. And you've got my word. I've already told you what we're going to do for you here. We'll support you 100% here as well.
Oh, we thank you.
And we want you to have success. We want your program to have success. And folks, I'm telling you, think about it just for a second. You want to go have some fun and make somebody feel good at the same time? Here's an opportunity. Here's an opportunity to go out and spend $40. Yeah, some of it's going to go to the facility to maintain it, but it's also going to go help a veteran that has served this country that has somehow or another fallen through the cracks, as I call it, and being able to be somebody and do something back for what they have. So, Mr. Holt, it's a different kind of cut of person that does what you do, and I'm proud to have you on WKNI TV.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Remember,
keep it real.
Keep God in it. That's what this is all about, folks. You keep God in it, you get people like this. And again, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
God bless.